Hello guys, so in this video we'll talk about Angular introduction. So my name is Mohammed Suhail and let's start with today's agenda. So in this video we'll talk about what is Angular, then we'll talk about why Angular, and in the end we'll talk about why we have a new version of Angular when we have some older one. So let's go through the first one. So what is Angular? So basically Angular is a JavaScript framework to build a client-side application using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So this is the brief overview of Angular. What is Angular? So let's talk about why Angular. So Angular makes our HTML more expressive because it has so many built-in features like if condition, for loops, local variable and so on that make our HTML more powerful and more expressive, so we can just write different kind of if condition inside our HTML to render different kind of content based on different values of different variables, and we can iterate over some of the lists that we have coming from the backend and display data from the local variable that we define in our TypeScript files and so on. So the next one is the data binding. Angular has a powerful data binding that make it easy for us to track user changes, display our data model, and update HTML based on user interaction. So that's make our life very easy as a developer to display data or bind data, or if user is interacting with something on the screen, so we can easily uh, and if we want to update something based on the user interaction, so we can easily update using the data binding that Angular provide out of the box. So the next feature is Angular is built on modular structure. Modular structure, what that means? So basically, so we can when we are building any website or anything, any app or any website, so we can break our application into simple, smaller uh, modules like header, footer, some sidebar section and some main content section. Then further we can divide each of the module into sub modules, and that's how we can structure our apps, and we can build each module separately. So like we can build one more module that handle how to display a button and how to style a button with the different ways, like for the for the primary button, for the secondary button, for the outline button, and all different kind of button we have in our application. And that is one module in our application, and that module is reusable throughout the application. So that's how we build different modules. We can divide our app into a smaller module, and then we build those modules and we reuse those modules throughout our application that make our development uh, faster, and uh, that that maintain consistency throughout our application. If we using primary button in one place in one page, and now we want to use that primary button in the second page, so it will look and feel the same way uh, in both the pages, because we have a module that has primary button that we will use in both the places. And if we are making change into that button in, so it will affect in both the places. So that's how makes as a developer our life very easy for us. So the next thing is so Angular provide backend support. out of the box. So Angular has a built-in services that we will talk about later when we move to that topics in our course. So through these services we can easily interact with the backend APIs, and we can use all the word like get, post, delete, put, any kind of word that we use while we building our API in the backend. So all those words are easily available uh, through this module, and we can easily call our backend API, execute any kind of business logic that we want to execute based on different kind of user interaction, and we can get any kind of data. If you want to display some kind of data when the user clicks on something, and whatever you want to display, you can easily get from the backend using Angular services, and we can display it use anywhere in our app. So the next thing is support. So Angular has a very big developer community. That mean if you are stuck with something while you are developing any application using Angular, so you can easily find a solution online just by searching that problem, because you are not the first one that has encountered that issue. You may uh, there are so many other people that already have encountered that kind of issue, and they find a solution. So you can easily google that stuff, and you can easily find a solution for that problem. And having a that much big developer community, that means that you will have a lot of built-in packages that you can reuse, that is developed by the mm, different developer, and that are free on npm and any other package manager that you can install in your application through npm package manager, and you can reuse that functionality in your app if you need it, like date picker, and there are so many other stuff that you can reuse. So let's move to the next topic: why a new Angular. So if we already have AngularJS, why we need new Angular? So AngularJS was built on MVC pattern, and it was a good pattern at that time, but it was not really a good pattern for the front-end application. So after some time, after I think a couple of years with the AngularJS, Google team realized that this is not a good way to structure our front-end framework. So they restructure Angular totally from the ground up, and that's how Angular 2 came. And there we have a different kind of structure. So still we have three parts for each component, like we have a template, a CSS file, and TS file for logic. But it is really good for developing application, and it has, you can call it has segregation between different things like CSS, HTML, and your logic and JavaScript or TypeScript that you are writing. So it segregates three different things that we use in the front end, like CSS, HTML, and JavaScript or TypeScript, whatever you are trying to write. So this was something that that's why we need a new Angular. So some of the main features that Angular gives us is, first one is the speed. It has a really fast load time, and it has a really good change detection strategy that you can use, and it will look your site very fast and very seamless. There will be no lags and that kind of stuff while if you're using properly Angular in your application. And it improves the render time of your application as well. So the next one is modern. So Angular has the support for the latest JavaScript features and standards, whatever we have in the latest JavaScript. So Angular support those features so we can reuse them. And it will make our life as a developer very easy because the new feature has a really good while it has a performance wise, and it has a really good overall structure and everything, and it improves readability and maintainability and all that kind of stuff as well in our application. So on top of that, Angular has some extra feature as well, like classes, declarators, and so on, that Angular use while we build our Angular component or Angular services, that tells Angular which classes as a component they need to treat, and which class Angular need to treat as a service, and so on. So they have that kind of feature out of the box as well in Angular. So the next one is a legacy. So here we already talk about that Angular has support for the latest JavaScript feature. So on top of that, it's we are writing our code in the latest JavaScript, but still it supports the legacy browser like IE9 and IE8 as well, and those browsers that are not really up to date with the latest technologies. And we can build an application that can run really good and really okay in those kind of browser as well. And it has support for the modern browser as well. So next is the simpler. So Angular has a simpler API. It has a few built-in interactive that you need to learn, like, and it has a simpler data binding as well, so you can easily bind your stuff in template and your TS and in the HTML file. So it is really simple. You just need to just go through that process once, and you will understand it quickly, and you will the application very easily. So the next one is the productivity. So Angular enhance your productivity to improve our day-to-day workflow. You will see these productivity feature as we go through this course. So, and Angular has a really consistent pattern to build different kind of building blocks in any application, like how to build a component, how to build a service, how to build a directive, and so on. So it has a really consistent pattern. So you will just need to learn that once, and you can reuse it throughout your development life career as well. So this was it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.